All right, and our final entrant of the day coming in at number 61 with 122 points. He was on Mongoose' list at 62, Andretti's list at 51, and my list at 61. So somebody that was pretty evenly rated throughout everybody's list here, and that is Christian Cage. And for me, Christian, he's by far doing his absolute best work of his career as of today's recording date here in November of 2023. He is doing the absolute best work of his career with the whole TNT championship with Luchasaurus and Edge and all that. Obviously, he is my favorite WWE tag team of all time outside of Booker T and Goldust is Edge and Christian. And I love Edge and Christian. Those were my favorites whenever I got into wrestling. Then Christian breaks away from them, goes into the Peeps and his Peep Show, and I loved his those early 2000s Intercontinental runs with him and Jericho, and then doing like the stuff with Trish Stratus at that WrestleMania. Like all of that is great stuff, and you always felt that Christian never did get to the level that Edge ever got at WWE. He was never that ultra superstar that Edge was, but you always knew that Christian was going to give you a good match. And it turns out that he's like Tony Khan's like favorite wrestler in a weird way. Probably would have never guessed that. But whenever he came into AEW, like outside of the before that stuff, he was in TNA and Impact and all that, won the NWA championship. But still, like that stuff I didn't see. But from what I've seen in WWE, obviously, and then this AEW stuff, absolutely deserving to be on the list. I love Christian and super excited, to see what he does this weekend at Full Gear and beyond.
He's one of the most believable people in wrestling, and he's super respected, and all of that is justified. I mean, he's going to be the guy that is going to be inspiring the next generation. I really think that he's going to be one of the top guys to inspire the next generation. History, in my opinion, is going to be super kind to Christian Cage.
Oh yeah.
And here's the best thing about Christian is that his debut in AEW was as poop fart a debut as there could have been. And all he did was turn himself into a goddamn superstar.
Yeah.
So that's how good he is. Seriously, man, is that we thought, is this Brock Lesnar? Is this Bill Goldberg? Is this blah, blah, blah? And it's Christian, right? And you put your hand above your eyebrows. And of course you bring in a new signing as a baby face. And the fact that he was able to see, you know what? I'm not a big over baby face. So let me just make fun of everybody whose dads are dead. And the thing is like, obviously you don't do those things without approval, right? So he goes to everybody whose dad's dead and say, look, I'm going to bury you because your dad isn't alive anymore. And he made it work, man, because it's one thing to get cheap heat, but he would get it in a way that would really make people want to fight the guy.
Yeah.
And he wears a sleeveless turtleneck to the ring.
Oh,
yes. That Jungle Boy casket match is insane. I've seen 4 or 5 Christian matches in the last year that are just top notch. So yes.
Well, that's what I wanted to say too, is he might have had the best matches overall for a performer in AEW's history.
Because Kenny Omega's in the ring, and we have Kenny Omega Pac, Kenny Omega Phoenix, Kenny Omega. That's the only tough thing. But as far as a persona, I think that you'd be right there.
Has anybody benefited more? Now I know there's a case for MJF, but has anybody benefited more from AEW's existence than Christian Cage?
Sting
as a talent. Well, okay, maybe Sting, yeah.
And it's only because they booked Sting better than any legend has ever been booked.
I think Sting might be booking Sting, but yeah.
but that, you know, but that, so it literally would, though. Kenny Omega has not been booked as good as Sting or Christian Cage.
No.
So yes. So I do agree with you there. Yeah. Kenny Omega's had better matches than Christian Cage, but I do believe booking wise that Sting and Christian Cage probably are the two people that have benefited the most from their existence. I would say that you're right there.
But yeah, that